Okay, hi everybody. Sorry, had a few technical difficulties with my camera for some reason. That usually doesn't happen. So, hi, I am Pam Leverance. I am your masterful mentor, and I am presenting today in this wonderful group. And I just want to make sure that everybody can see me and hear me okay. So if you are watching live, that would be great. Oh, yes. Sorry about that. Stephanie's checking on me to make sure I'm in here okay. Oh, good, good, good. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, so everybody can hear and see me okay, which is wonderful. Again, I apologize. I generally do not have problems with my camera hookup, but for some reason this morning I was doing some show taping and it must have stuck with the old program and wouldn't come over to this go live. All right, so like I said, my name is Pam Leverance and I am the Brick Wall Coach. I have a website called brickwallcoach.com, and basically I provide clarity and confidence to business owners so that they can have a successful plan of action in their business. And today I wanted to talk about project management. And all good project managers and business owners have notes on their other computer screen. I don't know about everybody else, but I run dual screens just for this purpose so that I can talk to you and do my presentation, but I can have my notes up on the other screen. So let's just get started because I want to keep this to about 15 minutes today. And we're going to talk about project management and how it fits into your particular business. I am of the mindset that every single business owner needs some type of project management system, whether you use pen and paper or whether you use a software to get that done, but it's super important. And these are the 5 reasons why. The first would be organization and collaboration. In order to run a successful business, everybody needs to be organized. And having a project management system actually helps you be as organized as you possibly can be. And of course, the collaboration piece comes in if you have team members or clients or even customers that you want to bring into that particular loop. The second one is to reach your objectives faster. We all have goals and plans, and if you are not using a system in which to keep track of that, you cannot actually reach those objectives because you don't have a good handle on them. The third reason would be cost tracking. As a good business owner, we all have budgets, and we want to make sure that we're sticking to those budgets and not going beyond the cost that we have set aside for that particular project or our business overall. So making sure that we can track those costs is really important. The fourth reason would be time tracking. And that kind of goes hand in hand with a few other things. Time tracking is really important because we only have a set amount of hours each day in which we want to get these projects done or where we want to run our business. There's 24 hours in a day, and we are not going to run our business 24 of those hours. So let's just use an 8-hour example. You have 8 hours. You want to make sure that during those 8 hours, you aren't spending 4 or 5 of them in social media when you don't have to be. So keeping track of your time is a really important component to having a project management system. And then the fifth and final is evaluation. And that basically is just a look back. Everybody wants to be able to evaluate where they've been so you can keep moving forward. And it's a really good idea to do a general quick look back or evaluation at the end of each day or the very beginning of the following. But definitely a look back every week so you can make sure, okay, I've got my goals, they're all mapped out. Am I on track with them? Did I go off track? Because if I did, I need to come back around and make sure that I get back on track for next week. And having a project management system, again, is very essential to that overall business projects. So those are really the 5 essential reasons why you would want to have a project management system. And I believe that Stephanie had asked a question specifically about having a project management system for a new project or a new service, right? Was that what it was, Stephanie? And I just actually read that about 20 minutes ago, and I'm like, okay, so I want to make sure that I touch base on that. And I quickly wrote out some notes, so I didn't have time to type them and put them on my screen, so I'm just going to read from what I wrote out, and hopefully that will help you. Okay, for a new program. Great, Stephanie. All right. So some of the things you want to think about when you are starting a new program and you want to manage the steps involved. You want to identify, first of all, that there's a need for it. Planning a new program is not an easy feat. It takes a lot of tiny little steps to make it to that big goal of here's my new program. So you want to first identify that the need is something out there with the people that are in your group. And then, of course, you want to make sure that you look at each of the, kind of make like a little bullet point list of all the different challenges that may be involved in that. From identifying to implementing, everything in between, you want to write down as many bullet points on a quick list, jot them down, and make sure that those are all things that you're going to be looking at as part of that project. And then, let's see, you want to make sure that, oh my gosh, I can't even read my own hen scratching here. Let's see. Determining how to make a difference. You want to make sure, what did I write? Once you have applied your thinking, that little tip, quick list that you wrote down, you want to make sure that you have the resources to back it up, meaning that you know exactly where you're going to have that information come from and be able to make sense of it. Start putting that in a list. I'm going to start at point A and I want to end at Z, and what's everything in between. And then it's always a good idea to assemble a group or a team to help you do this. And part of the reason is because it will save you a ton of time. It will also keep you focused, and it will also ensure that you don't burn out, because it is a huge undertaking to come out with a new program. And let's see, what else did I, and then of course, part of that list when you're making it, don't forget you want to, a really big part of it, so you want your own bullet point for this with lots of little sub things under it, is marketing. How are you going to market this new program? Where are you going to market it? How are you going to market it? That's a really big piece of it. You want to think about, let me see, once you have the program written and once you have, I'm assuming that it's probably going to be some written material and maybe some taped material. How are you going to present that to people? Is it going to be a program that you do with them one-on-one, or is it a program that you're putting out to a group of people, or is it a program that people will be able to just like purchase and be perpetual? So you want to make sure you have the platform all figured out on how you're going to get that program up and running. But yeah, I would definitely use a project management system. Start, making specific titles for each of those, and then just putting your thoughts underneath. Once they're down there, you can always rearrange everything, but having that written out is super important. Good. It is a ton. I'm glad it's helpful. I know it's a ton of stuff to plan out, to map out. It's really, I always suggest the first step for any kind of implementation of anything like that is you just take some time, just set aside even half a day if you can't afford to do the full day, and just take a plain pad of paper and be somewhere in your happy place, whether that's in a quiet room in your home or you go outside. A lot of times I'll take a walk and I'll sit on a rock down by the water's edge. We have like a pond with a dam, and I'll sit down there because it's quiet. I'm not going to be interrupted. That's what you want. And then you just kind of massively plan out all your thoughts on a piece of paper. And then you take that, bring it back, and implement it into a project management system. That is the easiest and best way that I've found, is to give yourself time to just let those thoughts flow. And I did also want to take a little bit of time and go over some of the different project management systems that people do use. Now, I actually started my mentoring business. I started out in 2009 as a part-time side hustle doing bookkeeping. At the time, that's all that I really understood that you could probably do online. I had a good background in accounting. I went to college for both business management and accounting, and I thought, well, I'll do the accounting piece. And it fell into my lap. It's a long story. You can read a little bit about it on my website. But I started out helping people in the financial field. And I found out right away I needed a project management system for this, because otherwise I just had notebooks. And each notebook was for a different client, and I found myself writing all the time. And so, I mean, I have done so much research and come from 2009 to where I am today by basically doing research and trying things out to find out the best system. And just because a system works for me or works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for Shirley or Tammy or John. It might not. You have to try out sometimes, different systems to see what feels comfortable to you and something that you're actually going to use. But some of the systems that I found myself using in the last, I would say, 7 or 8 years made it to my list. And so the first one I wanted to talk about was Wrike. Now, I didn't actually go ahead and use Wrike, and it's spelled W-R-I-K-E. It's a true project management software system. I did test drive it for some clients that I had, and some of the clients chose it and other clients did not. The ones that needed an overall project management system more than just a to-do list type of thing chose this system. And it actually won the 2017 Best Project Management Software Award. It is a really good system. It's just a little bit more involved than a lot of people need. Some of the things that it has are simplifying your planning, enabling collaboration, streamlining your workflow. It's used by a lot of big companies like Airbnb, Fitbit, Hootsuite, Verizon, I believe, even uses it. It's a lot. Like I said, it's a little bit more intricate of a system. So if you are a true project manager or you are looking for just a project management system, definitely check out Wrike. The cost is free for 5 users with a simple shared task list. So it's good for small teams, or it's $9.80 per user for the professional version. Which is good for up to 15 users and includes their full project management suite. So it can get a little pricey, but it's good if you, like I said, are a project manager and need a really thorough system. But if you are not just managing projects for a living, some of the other things you can check out are Smartsheet. Now, Smartsheet is something that I used with my people in the financial field a lot. And I think the reason for that is because we like to call it Excel on steroids. It's basically a really jazzed up Excel sheet, and it does so much for you, but it's set up like an Excel sheet, and you can do the same types of formulas that you can do in Excel. But beyond that, it also handles your basic projects with Gantt charts. You can do scheduling of your projects and budget tracking, set deadlines, of course, and team task lists. And it connects with some of the greater apps that a lot of people use, like G Suite and Dropbox and Box or Evernote, and even DocuSign. And again, you can get started for free on that, but the cost is actually $14 a month for individuals, or $15 a month per user for teams of people, let's see, up to 50 people. And again, it's a really good system, but it might not be what a lot of people are looking for, but it does have a really good collaboration tool. And if you like the Excel spreadsheet look, that's something to look into as well. That is Smartsheet. The next one I wanted to talk about, and this is going a little bit from project management more into the to-do list, but a nice combination of the two, is Basecamp. And Basecamp is a pretty popular choice with a lot of people because it has a simple setup, and it's pretty much a short or a quick learning curve to it. And again, it's got the interactive Gantt charts, your project templates. This actually offers a nice to-do list, recurring tasks. You can do forecasting and tracking. You can even do messaging. It is $29 a month for internal teams and $59 a month if you're using it with clients. So it can get to be a little pricey, but it is a really good project management system. The next one I wanted to talk about is Teamwork Projects. And I actually used Teamwork Projects for a full year before I decided it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. And it's not that it's not a good system, because it really is. You can go from start to finish. It's very clear, but it wasn't super visual, and I was searching for something more visual. But again, you can do time tracking, and you've got team member collaboration and tracking of progress, and you can actually create milestones. It's really good. It's got the SSL security, which is similar to to bank encryption, so that's nice about it. And it is free forever with a 5-user maximum and 2 active projects, or it's $9 a month per user for up to 100 users, but then you have unlimited projects. And like I said, I gave it a really good try. I used it for a full year. But it was missing something. It was lacking the visual that I personally need. So I kept searching. And then I ran across Asana, and I heard so much about Asana. And again, we're going more into the to-do and less on the project management piece, but it still has a good project management capability to it. And this was a good system. I checked it out for a lot of people, and I do have a lot of clients that chose to use Asana. It does bridge to your email. It's got the task list, which includes tracking. It's got an iPhone app, which is pretty nice for a lot of people that are on the go. You can do project and task creation. It just helps you get a ton of stuff done. It tracks your activities, and it does work really well. It's free for teams up to 15 users, and the basic dashboard, and then you would have to get their premium, which is $9.99, $10 a month, but it gives you a lot more flexibility. And it was nice, but again, I don't know. I just kept on going because it just was not what I was looking for. So then I ran into what I'm finally going to talk about with you today is Trello. And that is what I run my business on today. Trello is one of the leading project management apps out there. Trello actually uses the concept of boards, and it is extremely visual. Each board is a project, and then within that board, you have what's called cards, and each of those cards are actually tasks. And you can have, I love this system, and I'll tell you why. It allows members of the board to discuss a project in real time. You can use the little @ symbol and put whoever's connected to the board, and they get that message right away, depending on if they're online or not. But they get the message, and it's like tagging them. It's wonderful. If they're on there, you can talk back and forth and get things done and answered right away. It keeps everybody informed. You can do task assignments. You get daily emails from them. I like it because you can add files to a card uploading from either Dropbox or Google Drive or right from your computer. It's awesome. You can use labels for easy searching and filtering. It's got deadline reminders. Inside your cards, you can actually set different, like checklists. The only downfall that I have found so far is that each card only gets one due date. So if I'm doing a checklist and I have various due dates, I have learned to work around it by putting the first due date. When that task gets done, I have to remember to change the due date. I'm that passionate about it that I contacted Trello and told them about it. Apparently, I'm not the first person. So Trello is working on trying to fix that, somehow make it better for us. And until they do, I am sticking with it right now. Again, it uses the same kind of encryption that banks use, which is super important for me. And it is free for unlimited boards with the basic integrations, or it's $10 a month for business class. That includes unlimited power-ups, and the power-ups are just the integrations that you can use with other apps. Custom board backgrounds, which I absolutely love. If I work with a client in the entertainment field, so the background for his card is like being on stage. It's a stage presentation with all these lights. It's cool. It's just a fun thing to make it a little bit more fun. It comes with stickers and, of course, the priority email, which I love because you can email them and get an answer in no more than 24 hours, which is super great. So those are some of the systems that I've tried, what I'm using, and hopefully, if that's something that you're looking at, you can, of course, go on and Google any of these and get their pros and cons and the prices and everything. But I hope that having this presentation to you made it a little bit more concise, a little easier for you, trying to just start thinking about what it is that you are really looking at doing, and what it is that you need to keep track of. Like I said, I believe every business owner needs a good project management system, even if it's just for you internally, so that you can keep track of all your projects, how they're going, where you need to change them, and it's a wonderful thing to actually visualize it and to see that. So I hope this has been really helpful. If you need any tips, techniques, help with anything, by all means, just use this comment section to write something in. I'll come back and check on it, or you can hop over to my website, and there is a contact form on there if you have specific questions, and I would be glad to help you. And thank you so much to Stephanie for having me today. I hope that this was helpful to you, Stephanie. I hope this was helpful for your group, and I will come back and speak about another subject at any time. I am super happy to do that. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the group.